I'm great. And how have you been?
Likewise, thank you for asking. How was your day today?
Yes, it has been pretty nice. We are going now is our summer vacation is going on right now, so I am
Okay.
actually relaxing at home.
All right, you're just chilling at home. That is nice. So anyway, I will introduce myself. Then you can go next. So my name is Shourya, and I'm currently living in Pune. What about you?
My name is Adrija, and I'm from West Bengal. I live in a town known as Raiganj.
Okay. So what are you studying in school? You mentioned.
Yeah,
So what grade are you in?
I'm in class 9.
All right. So how come you're here on this platform?
Well, actually, two things. First, I love to communicate with people and with everyone. And the second one is that I have a YouTube channel where I post different
Okay.
videos. So,
All
yeah,
right.
for two reasons.
Both works, right? You're two stones, two birds with one stone. All
Hmm.
right. Okay, that is nice. So anyway, let's discuss the topic for today. Just give me one moment. All right. So the topic is technology and robots.
Yeah.
Right. So are you tech savvy? Like, do you have any favorite gadget in particular?
I would not consider myself as a tech savvy person because
Okay.
yes, I love internet and everything about it, but just like technology, everything about I just don't get the I don't know. Of course, it is very important, but still, it is not one of my interests.
All right. That's okay. That's completely fine. Like, you are very familiar with it. You do use it, but you just do not like it in particular, right? You do not have like a keen interest for it. That's completely okay. So what do you think? Is it a boon or a bane? Technology.
Of course, it is a boon. Like without technology, I can't even imagine our world right now at this
Okay.
position. All these gadgets, internet, everything. Like we will be unable to do anything. Like
That is very
everything is
true.
nothing is
That is very
possible.
true. To think of a time when these things were not there is very, like, it's a very difficult picture to imagine, right?
Yeah.
Like, how did they manage things? But that is true. So, do you think that we have got very like dependent on these things? We've gotten very dependent on these things.
Yes, a lot. Like, for example, me, one time, suppose our electricity is gone for just a little bit moment, and then you have to, suppose inverter is
Be
not
on
there.
your
It
own.
happened. Yeah, you have to be on your own. Like, the lights are not going to work, not the fan, nothing. Okay, mobile, you don't probably need it. Entertainment is not always needed, but what about the basic needs? Like
That
we
is
need
true.
fan, we need light. So
That is
without
true.
these gadgets, we are not going to live at all.
Especially in summer, right? It gets very difficult because it's hard to. Again, I feel that the logic, that the valid explanation for that is that previously, like if you're talking a decade before, it did not like it was not as hot as it is now, right? Like now, like you would have heard like every season the heat gets more or the
Yeah,
cold gets more, right? So I think that is why it has become very difficult. Again, I think that that is an excuse for it, but we have become very dependent. What do you
yeah,
think about that?
that's of course true. Yes, global warming does. It is
Is
a
a real thing. Hmm.
factor. Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I mean, yes, that is what I believe that that is what the impact is, right? So since we're talking about that, so do you think that it has done more good than bad, or the other
Yeah,
way around?
yeah. It has, of course, done more good than bad because yes, there are a lot of bad influence, like online everything. It especially as a student, I have to say it harms students. It harms my like after doing online classes, my eyes are totally damaged. I cannot see a little bit far away, so it wasn't there before. So it
That
affects
is true.
our health. That is true. But let's just keep aside all of that and think about the boons that they have given. They are really advantageous.
I mean, talking about online classes, if you had to imagine COVID coming in a duration when these things were not there, so I think our lives would have completely stopped, right? It was because of our phones and because of the internet that we were able to still stay connected with our family living far away, right?
Right.
So, but again, these things I think get a little overshadowed by the bad part. What do you think about that?
Because people love to talk about the bad part more. They don't. Yes, they are going to use the good part, but when it comes to the disadvantages, they're going to be like, yes, what are we supposed to do with that? Because every single gadget when invented has some advantages, has some disadvantages. So of course, we have to look at the advantages, right?
That is true. I mean, it's about paying caution from your own end,
Yeah.
right? Like, like online classes are still like very necessary, were very necessary, right? And like in continuation, also people believe that the online mode is the future of like
Hmm.
things. People would avoid meeting offline in general because now I've like I recently read that COVID is coming back, so we don't know. We might have to rely on these things again.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that is nice. So, what else do you like to do? What are your hobbies?
Okay, my hobbies are reading books. Absolutely love books. And then
Okay.
listening to music and probably, of course, working on my YouTube channel. Yeah, these are
Okay.
some.
So, you mentioned reading books. So, what type of books do you usually read?
Well, my school books and other novels, everything. Like possibly I read series or just single novel. Everything actually
Okay.
goes with me.
Okay. I mean, again, reading school books is again studying, right? That doesn't. I don't think that
Yeah,
counts as reading.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
what type of novels? Like, if you could name any.
My favorite genre is fantasy.
Okay.
So yeah, like I have read a lot. Harry Potter is there, though I haven't read all of the books. But then I have read
Okay.
Percy Jackson, and then some other Chronicles of Narnia, and all of
Chronicles of Narnia. All right. So, you like Harry Potter? That is nice. What do you
yeah,
like
I do
about Harry
love.
Potter?
It's just such a nice story, and especially all the 10 parts. Not 10 parts. I don't know how many
There are
parts are there. Seven,
seven
yeah,
books, I
but
think.
eight
Yes.
movies.
Yes.
So all of these 8 parts are like they are so much connected to each other that one time, it's just like a series. And when you're
It is a
watching it,
series.
just you think like you are in that place. So
That is
that is
true. That
what
is true.
magic it has.
That is true. Given that it was written for children in particular, but like people my age or people like elder than me still are very connected to the Hogwarts world.
Yeah.
Right. That is how much of an impact Harry Potter had.
Hmm.
Right. That is nice. So, which one would you consider your favorite to be out of all the novels that you've read?
Okay, means in Harry Potter or others?
No, no, in general, out of all the novels that you've read.
Okay, that's hard. Yes, I absolutely love The Alchemist. I know it is a small book, not a series, but still it is just such a nice novel.
Okay. So, what do you like about The Alchemist?
Actually, it has a lot of philosophy in it, and it has a story,
Spirituality,
but
philosophy.
then it is going to give you so many life lessons in that story that you will remember it forever. That is what I
That
like
is
about
true.
it.
That is true. Like it reflects a lot. Like it has a lot of depth to it. That is the good part about The Alchemist,
Yeah,
right? But it's a short novel. That is also a good thing because I think it's only around 200 pages. I read it
yeah.
in one go. I remember because I was very interested in it. I was very intrigued by the plot, and I am not someone who actually reads like spiritual or motivational books. So still, yet I was very like
Mm,
engrossed by how well it was written. Right.
that's
Okay, nice. You
yeah.
mentioned you have a YouTube channel. So what exactly do you post on the channel?
English related videos. Previously, when I was young, I used to post science and math related videos, and now
Okay.
I have switched to English. Yes, I absolutely love doing it. And in English,
Okay.
like improving spoken English, vocabulary, grammar, everything.
All right, nice. I mean, you started at a pretty young age. I think what we were talking about is right in front of us here, the right product of technology. Right. To
Yeah,
think
right.
like I could not even imagine handling a YouTube channel at such a young age. So I think that is what the new generation is bringing to us.
Yeah.
Right. That is nice. All right. So do you watch something in English? Like do you watch any movies or shows as well?
Yes, I do watch movies, English movies.
Okay. So which movies?
Like I watch animated movies and then Marvel movies and everything
Okay.
else, you will get on these OTTs.
All right. Okay. So you mentioned like animated movies. So do you mean Disney movies?
Yes, Disney, and then we have Pixar, all of those.
Disney and Pixar movies. All
Hmm.
right. So which one would you consider your favorite to be?
And in animated movies, well, I actually love most of them. Recently, I watched Raya and the Last Dragon. It was a pretty nice movie. And
Okay.
then before I watched Soul, it was also a nice movie. So
That
there
is
are a
true.
lot of movies. I cannot name one.
That is true. All right. I believe that also like Disney has, even though Disney movies are also for kids, but I think again, like I still till date watch it. I watched all the movies that you've mentioned. I specifically liked Coco a lot when it came out, if
Yes,
you've
it
seen
is
that, or
absolutely.
Inside Out. These are like Oscar winning. That is how well like animated these movies are, right? A lot of work goes in designing. But yes, they're very thoughtful. Why do you like animated movies of Disney and Pixar?
Um, Yes, I love it because all the other movies, like if I say non-animated, have really a serious plot. You have to just get into it, and if you just want to chill for a little bit of while, then you can watch animated movies. It is actually pretty nice to not have any tension in your mind and watch a movie.
Also, like very indulging,
Yeah,
right? When you start watching it, you want to watch it till the end.
yeah,
All right. You mentioned Marvel also. So, are you a Marvel fan?
yeah. I love, I love it.
All right. So, who's your favorite
Um,
Marvel hero?
probably probably my favorite superhero would be Spider-Man, but I love
Okay.
all of them.
Okay. So, why did you say Spider-Man in general?
Spider-Man because his power is super cool, and his personality is also like very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Funny and not like always boasting about his powers or something like that.
Mm-hmm. He has that very underdog feel to him,
Hmm.
right? He's not. I don't think he realizes how powerful he really is,
Yes.
right? So Spider-Man has been adopted thrice by different actors. So which
Yeah.
actor do you prefer the most for Spider-Man?
Wow. The first one is always classic, but I think of course, Tom Holland is also pretty nice. But for me, I absolutely love the second one. I think Andrew
Andrew
Garfield.
Garfield, yes,
Yeah,
Andrew
the
Garfield.
Amazing Spider-Man
The
series.
Amazing Spider-Man, yes. I recently heard that there's going to be a third adaptation to it because
Yeah, let's hope
the
so.
first Spider-Man had three movies, Tom Holland has had three movies, so it's well deserved, right? That Andrew Garfield should get his third movie as well.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, I believe that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man ending was the most brutal out of the three because
Yes,
he
that's
loses
why I love it.
Gwen Stacy, right? It was more
Yeah.
dramatic if you think
Hmm.
about it. All right, nice. So anyway, we are towards the end of our session. So do you have any questions for me before I get to my feedback?
No, you can tell the feedback.
All right, okay. So I mean, it's pretty obvious that you have a good command over the language. You know how to conduct yourself well. You had the tenses right. I think in some places I noticed that you were using the articles incorrectly. Like they were used in the places where they were not required. Like if you're saying that he is, I do not exactly recall, but one some place you were using the article a in places it was not required. So again, it happens during the flow of the conversation. It's not really intentional because I think that you are aware of the rules. So I will just suggest that you also have a very fast pace of talking, so maybe that is why sometimes in the flow of conversation you make that mistake. So I will just suggest that whenever you feel that you're not really confident about what you're saying, or you do not feel good about how you're forming your sentences, I will just suggest that you should just take a pause, take a minute, think about what you're going to say, just gather your thoughts and then get to the topic. Right. Similarly, with how you use the tense in a sentence. Let's say if I ask you, like at the beginning of our session, I asked you that how was your day today? Right. So my question was in past tense, and right now, if it's 11 p.m. at night, so I'm asking about the major part of the day that has already passed. So
Yeah.
your answer will also be in past tense. Right. So that is again, once you filter that out, then you only have to focus on your words. Similarly, if I'll ask you that what do you plan to do after the session ends, so I'm asking about the time that hasn't arrived yet. So your answer will be in future tense, right? Similarly, while you're narrating a story, it will be in past tense. So things like that. I will suggest that you should, again, before like jumping into answering the question, because you sound very enthusiastic and I had a great conversation with you. So I will just suggest that you should just try taking in a moment and think about what you're going to say and then get to the topic, because I
Sure.
think that way, whatever minimal mistakes that you're making, you'll be able to eliminate that. Right. So, yeah, that is all of my feedback. Do you have anything else to add?